replacing the nameplate back in 2017 of the SRX, getting a mild refresh back in 2020, getting updated tech in 2021. Today, Cadillac of Lakeland has given us the 2022 Cadillac XT5 Premium Luxury in Stiller Black Metallic. New for the year, the sports trim will get a standard Brembo brakes with new 20-inch wheels. Who does this go after? The competition list goes on forever, but I think the best ones would be the Genesis GV70, your BMW X3. Which one will be the best for the interior to have all the modern luxury amenities with the latest, greatest tech, performance, the styling to back it all? I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides. We're going to go over all the specs and details starting now. Cadillac XT5 has a distinctive styling that is unmatched to the competition, and it does stand out with a bold face, iconic Cadillac grille. You'll get the chrome inserts with the gloss black surrounding it with chrome. It is large and it is in charge, with sharp lines that highlight the jewel LED standard headlamps. And it works all the way down to your LED fog lamps. You get the chrome side curtain. It's non-functional, but it keeps that styling attributes, and that's what you're really looking at when you're going into a luxury brand. Better ground clearance to the Genesis and the BMW at nearly 8 inches. It's going to be a smaller width at 74.9 inches, the height of 66.1 inches. Broader shoulders that push out the fenders, 20-inch 6 split spoke alloy wheels, diamond cut finish. 16.6 inches is the disc reading in the front that's ventilated, 12.4 ventilated out back, 4-wheel independent suspension, so you're going to receive that smooth ride McPherson strut front suspension, multi-link rear suspension. The silhouette styling that you receive on the side keeps that profile of a compact SUV, and that's really what we're illustrating. I think Cadillac did a great job with the luxury for the chrome around the window treatment and on the lower door seals, and on the skirt you're going to receive the matte black, which will help for rock chips. Again, keeping luxury in mind. It is going to be the longest in length at 189.6 inches. However, the wheelbase is going to be the smallest at 112.5 inches. Silver for the roof rails when I am comparing or looking at the competition. The BMW is going to be more of a sport drive styling. Comparing it to the Volvo, when you're looking for luxury, really the only competition that I see is the Genesis GV70, and this one just nails it on the head. The proportions start on the door panels and it works its way to the rear quarter panel, and it just pushes it out, giving that luxury styling. LED tail lamps, these are signature Cadillac tail lights, so you know a Cadillac from any vehicle. Lower roof spoiler, and Cadillac brings those significant proportions into the rear that just illustrate all of the dimensions of the vehicle. So all corners, it's literally stressing the styling cues. 400 badging signifies an output of 367 Nms rounded up to make 400, or 270 pound-feet of torque. Working down the lower, you're going to get your dual chrome exhaust, towing around 1,000 pounds. Now, this will not necessarily be the best in class. However, when you go into your cargo, power liftgate, going to start at 30 cubic feet. 12-volt spare tire tucked underneath the floor. The rear bench split folds to a 60-40 split. That's going to max the cargo to 63 cubic feet. Remember when I said however? Well, that's because this is the best in class for the largest cargo. The XT5 brings the styling attributes that's known for the luxury segment, and I think they do a great job keeping the proportions that just illustrate it's a Cadillac, because every angle that you look at this car, you cannot get it confused, and it stands out in the parking lot. And Cadillac backs the performance with a 3.6 liter V6 producing 310 horsepower and 271 pound-feet of torque. That's paired to a 9-speed automatic transmission, achieving 19 to 26 mpgs. That's good for a 0 to 60 around 6.4 seconds. Quarter mile, about 15 seconds, stopping 70 to 0 at 176 feet. That's going to be better than the Genesis GV70. Also, the gas consumption's better, about the same speed as your Volvo, but this is a Cadillac, and it backs the luxury with the performance. Let me know in the comments what you think about the 2022 Cadillac XT5 Premium Luxury as we go into the interior, go over the tech, and take this for our test run. Entering inside the Cadillac XT5, you're going to receive 37.9 inches of headroom, 36.6 inches of legroom, which is going to be better than the BMW. These are bucket front seats. They're leather wrapped, perforated with the stitch work. You get the Cadillac embroidery, 10-way power adjustment for both the passenger and driver in their heated seats. So I do like that we're getting the luxury attributes to start off with the modern dash. It's a double stacked with contrast stitching. You'll have the air vents on the top, and on the sides, you're going to have them both with the aluminum and that silver encasing them. The center infotainment screen is an 8-inch through Cadillac Q diagonal touchscreen. We do have navigation, so we have the pinch. We have the swipe. Click into the home button so you can see all the apps we have. We have Wi-Fi hotspot, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Both are going to be wireless, Sirius XM, AM, FM, streaming Bluetooth audio. Switch it to reverse. You do have full trajectory. It's only a reverse camera, but it is sufficient for the size of this vehicle, so it does make it easy for your reversing. I like how the open air concept is. You have this large ultra view power sunroof, which also just opens it up, because when you're comparing it to the BMW, it's going to be a little bit more dark. When you're comparing it to the Volvo, it's going to feel a little bit more cramped. In the center, you have your dual climate control. You have a area that you can put a large cell phone. Cup holders, easy fit, a 16.9 ounce water bottle. I would say you could fit maybe a 32, which is a nice thing. You do have some modes select as well. So when you click onto your modes, you can go through your tour, your sport, your snow, or ice. You have your intuitive knob for your infotainment screen, and the gear lever. I do like what they're doing because it doesn't mimic a BMW. It sets itself apart with the 9-speed automatic transmission. Elbows, nice and soft. Open up inside here, very unique. You got a tray, lift that up. You got a USB and a USB-C. And the way they have it set, you can run the wires through and out through, so that way you can keep this closed. You don't have wires dangling everywhere. Thinking about everything, they even add a pass-through storage down here with a 12 volt. So you have plenty of storage capacity so far in pockets to make it easy. Steering wheel, leather wrap, it's 4-spoke. You get the aluminum inlays, multi-function. The gauge cluster, you can go through an array of information. So it does make it easy for you. You can put your navigation, you can do for your phone. I mean, it's all the information you need to make it easy for you. The tach and the odometer is going to be analog. Door panel, it's going to be soft materials throughout, aluminum inlays with the silver. We have the premium Bose. This is 14 speakers, memory seats for the driver, one touch up and down for the front windows. They're dual pane. Storage, you can easily fit 3 or 4 16.9 ounce water bottles. So the efficiency for storage capacity is good. Let's see how I look in the back. For the back seats, I'm at 36.6 inches of headroom, 39 inches of legroom, which is the best in class legroom. So you got the cargo and you got the legroom. Kind of liking what I'm seeing here when I'm looking for a compact SUV. Another nice thing is they give you 2 pockets of storage. So if you have a smaller phone, you can put it in the top. You have a larger one, you can put it in the bottom, making it easy access to your USB ports. You got your air vents in the center, storage behind both of the front seats, and the floor is completely flat. Elbows, nice and soft. Cup holders here is going to fit a 20 ounce, but when you're comparing it to the competitors, it's still spot on. The Ultra View power sunroof comes all the way back, and it is pretty wide. It almost comes to the whole side of the vehicle. Door panel is going to have that soft materials. You get the aluminum inlays. You get those Bose Performance Series speakers, and storage, probably 2 or 3 16.9 ounce water bottles. Another thing that Cadillac does a great job is, if you've noticed, the door panel can fit a flask in all 4 door panels. The only one that could do that besides this is the Volvo. Let's see how I look in the center. Sitting into the center is going to be a little bit more tight. The headroom is still not necessarily an issue, just if I try to lean back. Legroom, I'm almost grazing the back of the front seats in the position that I'd be sitting. The only disadvantage I see here is you're going to be sharing butt space, shoulder space, not really feet space. does push you out and it does sit you up a little bit higher than on the sides. But what Cadillac has done to offset this is you can recline the seats. That way if someone sits in the center, you have no issue. You can also move these seats, adjusting them forward. You'll have even more optimal cargo. Or you can just put them back and enjoy a luxury ride. Taking the 2022 Cadillac XT5 Premium Luxury out for our test run. One thing that I like right off the bat is it's a naturally aspirated V6, 3.6 liter, 310 horsepower. Obviously the 0 to 60 numbers can be quicker, but at the end of the day, I mean, this is a luxury vehicle. You're not necessarily looking to get something that's full-blown performance in that attribute. And if you really want to go that route, you're going to spend a lot more money to do so. As for the sit, four-wheel independent suspension, it's going to be comfortable. Loudness does come into the cabin, even though they're dual pane windows for the front windscreen and the side windows. So you do hear it. It doesn't filter it out as much as I would have liked it. But the drive is still good, and sitting up higher at around 8 inches of clearance is a great thing. As for the sides, it feels a little bit wider than the numbers project. Dynamics, it's going to be boaty. Got it in sport mode. Here we go. It gets up to speed fine. It is pretty quick for this naturally aspirated engine. As for keeping it planted, it will be a little bit harder, especially if you put any tire shine or anything like that. But the nice thing here is we do have good brakes as well at 176 feet, stopping 70 to 0, so you can actually go through the windscreen. That's how tight these brakes are. As you drive the vehicle, when you are looking at different alternatives to it, which is going to be better with the luxury, with the performance, and with the actual way the car handles and drive wise. The steering wheel feels nice and weighted, so I do like that because you can feel impurities in the road. It's not very artificial. When you get into the alternative, it's going to be a little bit more artificial, I could say. Turn radius at more or less a stop point is going to get about 2.5 lanes, and give it some gas. And unfortunately, we couldn't give it too much gas because the nice gentleman just likes to pull out in front of Cadillacs. So when you do get into luxury or performance vehicles, that's going to happen. I do like the fact that you have sufficient power, even though it's 310 horsepower. Like I say in all my reviews, anything over 300 is sufficient, especially for the size of this vehicle. Now, there is 3 things I like and 3 things that I dislike, because anything more than that, I'd be buying this vehicle. 3 things start off with the cargo. When I want to fold the rear bench, I can do so in the cargo. I don't have to go into the back, open up the doors, fold the seats down. It makes it super easy. The next thing, best leg room when I'm comparing it to all of the rivals, and I like that because I'm tall. The last thing is this double dash layout. They just nailed it really well because this top portion area here just really makes it look very modern and elegant. On the flip side, 3 things that I dislike is when you get to the lower parts. It's going to be harder materials. Same thing for the door panel. Even though it's okay because it's around the cup holder area, I just would have liked to see a little bit more soft materials. The second thing that I dislike, the steering wheel is very GM. I would have liked to see a lot more Cadillac emphasis. The last thing that I dislike has to go to the towing, and the only reason why I would even say that is because the competition tows much more. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. This one's gonna let me go. All right. Thank you, thank you. And here we go, guys.
Continue on Florida Avenue South for 1.5 miles.
And you get a throaty V6 note, which is something that I do like. As for the side, it is going to be a little bit of a longer vehicle, but you can still see in the blind spot monitoring actually works really good too, because it comes up almost to my shoulders. I like the edgeless rear view mirror as well. Looking through the back window, it's large, so it makes it easy. You're not really going to be worried too much in the sense of safety, because Cadillac does take care of you, especially when you get to the premium luxury. You're going to have the pedestrian from the front, you'll have the rear cross traffic in the rear, you'll also have the automatic stopping, and it does it at speeds under 50 miles per hour. So they do take care of you with that. If you go to a lower trim, you will not receive all of the safety attributes. It's a quiet vehicle if you can keep it under 2 RPMs with this engine. You will hear the road noise. These are 20-inch upgraded wheels. The seats are going to be wide. They don't necessarily bolster you like a sport seat, but I do like that you can sit any dimension and you're not going to have too many problems with the way you're going to sit for comfort. To sum everything up, this model will be sufficient for the luxury performance blend with sufficient amount of storage, decent amount of cargo, and I mean, you have all the charging that you need too. When you're looking for something for more sport attributes, you're going to lose that in the ride quality. This you can drive for days and you wouldn't really have too many issues. 10-way power adjustments, which is more than enough, especially for the price point that you're at. As for looking through the front, I like the fact that we do sit up higher, like I said before, and everything is visible. All the windows are very large, so it actually makes the vehicle project that it's longer than it actually is, and it makes it a little bit more safe to drive because you don't really have any blind spots. I like to thank Cadillac of Lakeland for giving us this 2022 Cadillac XT5 Premium Luxury for our car review. If you're already a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Hawkeye community. If not, click that subscribe button, and check this next video out right here. Check out the details, merchandise website, and everything we do here at Hawkeye Rides.